We've been talking for a while now that Paramount was apparently looking to purchase and buy Warner Brothers. And, we haven't heard a lot since. We just heard that they were putting together a bid and they wanted to buy Warner Brothers in its entirety. Well, according to Bloomberg, over this past weekend, they did make an offer. And the offer was for $20 a share. If I'm not mistaken, I think currently the shares of Warner Brothers are at about $13, I think. They might have gone up a little bit.
I'll look it up.
Now, I did some quick math. With Paramount's offer, what's that?
As of now, because it had a huge spike today, it's up to 18. But,
okay, so probably because of this news.
That's as a reaction, yes.
Yes. So I did some quick calculations, and I could be off on this, but from where I'm sitting, from what I understand, at $20 a share, Paramount Skydance was offering Warner Brothers $49 billion. $49 billion. That is more than what Disney originally offered to buy Fox for. So keep that was a good offer. But according to Bloomberg, David Zaslav and the leadership of Warner Brothers said, thanks, but no thanks. Bye, Felicia. And they kindly showed them the door and kicked them out. And now one might think, why, if their share price was at like 13, 14, even today, $18, why would they turn down an offer at $20 a share at almost $50 billion? Why on earth would you turn that down? And I want to propose 4 different reasons why they may have turned this down. And any one of them would be totally legitimate, and it could be a combination of several of them. Here's why Warner Brothers turned the offer down. Number 1, Warner Brothers believes that Paramount is willing to pay more. Who was it that said, never take the first offer, right? If Paramount is coming out and offering $49 billion, then they're probably thinking they're probably willing to do $62 billion. And so the first possibility of why Warner Brothers turned down the offer is simply they just believe that Paramount is actually willing to pay more. That's just their first offer. The second reason is this. Warner Brothers is waiting for another player to come in and start a bidding war a la Disney, Fox, Comcast. Let's go back to my full screen here. For those of you who don't remember, before Disney bought Fox, they announced to the world, we're going to buy Fox. We've got to deal with them. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I'm just pulling this out of the air, but I think it was somewhere around $40 billion that Disney was offering, somewhere in the neighborhood of $40 billion, and Fox was going to take it. Oh, but wait a minute. Along comes Comcast and says, well, wait a minute here. You have to take competing offers. And we might want Fox. And so then they put in an offer that was bigger than the $40 billion.
It looks like it's $52 billion.
52, okay.
Yeah.
So along comes Comcast, and they put in a bid that's more. So Disney counterbids again, which is more. Then Comcast countered again. And then at the end of the day, I believe the final number, again, I haven't looked this up, but I believe, was it, I'm going to say 78. Was it 78?
71.3.
71.3. So I knew it was in the 70s.
Yeah.
In other words, Comcast forced Disney to spend $20 billion more than they originally intended to. I still think they laughed their asses off over Comcast, because just between you and me, I've said this before, I don't think Comcast ever intended to buy Fox. I don't think they ever intended to buy Fox. I think they, honestly, personally, my own opinion, I think they just wanted to screw Disney and force Disney to pay $20 billion more than they wanted to. Anyway, that's the history. I think it is very feasible here that David Zaslav and the ownership and the executive and the board of Warner Brothers Discovery is probably sitting back going, if Paramount's willing to pay us $49 billion, I bet you one of these other players is willing to swoop in and offer us, I don't know, $57 billion. And then Paramount will have to come in and offer $61 billion. So I think they're counting on and betting on that by letting this information be out there. And by the way, I have no doubt the people that leaked this information to Bloomberg absolutely was Warner Brothers. I completely believe Warner Brothers is the one that leaked this because they want it out there. They want to see if they can duplicate what happened with Disney trying to buy Fox. All right. So that's the second reason. First one, they just think Paramount might be willing to offer more. Second one, they want to see if another player comes in and creates a Disney, Fox, Comcast situation. Third one, Warner Brothers believes that they can be successful splitting the company into two separate entities and operating that way. Remember, guys, that just a little while ago, we talked about the fact that Warner Brothers was splitting itself into two companies. Generally speaking, we were going to get the Warner Brothers studio side. That was going to be Warner Brothers Pictures, and it was going to be HBO, Max, and all that kind of stuff. And then the other side is all the cable networks and all that other stuff, right? They believe they had a plan that if they separate themselves, they can function and be more successful. And while I do not believe in number three, I don't think number three is the reason here. I think that is a possibility. They may just simply straight up believe that, oh, yeah, we have a plan and we're going to split into two companies and we think we're going to be successful this way and we want to play it out. Again, I don't think that's the option, but it is an option. I wanted to make sure I presented it here.
Guys, we want to take a second to thank the sponsor of today's video, Zapier. You know, one of the biggest game changers of the past year has been AI. But let's be real, just talking about AI doesn't actually make your day any more productive. What does make it more productive is finding tools to put AI to work for you. And that's where Zapier comes in. Zapier is the easiest way to take AI and plug it directly into the apps and processes that you're already using every day. No IT bottlenecks, no complexity, just results. For me, it's been about saving time on repetitive stuff so I can focus on the work that matters and I actually enjoy. And it's not just me. Over 3.4 million companies are already using Zapier to streamline everything from sales and marketing to IT and HR. With their AI orchestration platform, you can connect top AI models like ChatGPT or Claude right into the apps you already use. So whether it's automatically enriching leads, coaching your sales team, or even resolving IT tickets, Zapier makes it simple. Guys, join the 3.4 million companies already automating with Zapier and transform how you work with Zapier and AI. Get started for free by visiting zapier.com/Campea. That's ZAPIER.com/Campea.
Then there's the fourth option. And the fourth option is interesting. The fourth potential reason why Warner Brothers said no to Paramount is that Warner Brothers believes they can get more money by splitting their company in two and then selling each piece individually. It's like saying, I don't know, I could sell you this backpack for $50 with everything that's in it. Or I could sell you the backpack for $30 and I could sell you the wireless mics that are in there for also $30 and get $60. So I could get $50 for selling you the whole thing. But I believe if I split it up and sell it separately, I can get more money. I think that's quite possibly one of the lines of thought that the folks at Warner Brothers have. Because think about it. You know what Netflix isn't interested in at all? Cruise lines.
Yeah.
You know what Netflix, or you know what Amazon Prime is not interested in at all? Theme parks. You know what, some of these other players, like, they don't really care about the stuff that Warner Brothers has with their cable networks.
No.
Netflix, when they're looking at Warner Brothers, now I was using like theme parks and cruise lines, that's, if they were looking at Disney, but that's the comparison to Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers has their studio and HBO Max. That's the thing that some of these potential bidders would be interested in. What they're not interested in is getting into cable television. They're not interested in getting into TBS or to getting into CNN or they're not interested in that. Why would they pay money to get a whole bunch of stuff they're not interested in? But wait. Warner Brothers first splits the company in two and then has this entity, Warner Brothers Studios and HBO Max, to sell as its own thing. Well, wait a minute now. Now, all of a sudden, Comcast may become a buyer. Netflix may become a buyer. Apple may become a buyer. Amazon may become a buyer. Because they may not have been interested in the whole package with all the cable stuff and everything. That's not what they're looking to get into. But, oh, wait a minute. You've split the company, and now we're just bidding on this one thing?
Right.
That could get a lot more people interested and raise that price a lot more. And then they can sell off the cable networks side of it too for whatever it is, and that'll just be gravy on top of it. So again, why would Warner Brothers turn down this near $50 billion offer from Paramount? Well, I think the options are all pretty valid. Warner Brothers believes Paramount's willing to pay more, or Warner Brothers is just waiting for another player to come in and create a bidding war. Or Warner Brothers believes they can just be successful following their current plan of dividing up the company. Or they believe in following through with their plan to divide the company and then selling each individual piece and making more money overall by attracting more interested parties and driving up the price for both. And instead of making 50, they can make 80 billion if they sell the two pieces individually. So, yeah. That's it. Now, I see somebody in the live chat saying, or Warner Brothers doesn't plan to sell at all. Guys, they're a publicly traded corporation. You have to accept the right deal because you have a fiduciary responsibility to your shareholders. Somebody comes along, somebody comes along and offers $100 billion. Literally, David Zaslav and some of his board would go to jail if they robbed their shareholders of that money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everything's for sale. In the corporate world, everything's for sale. In the words of the great Ted DiBiase, everybody's got a price for the $1 million man, as he would used to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I think this is fascinating. I think this is far from over. I think they are going to make Paramount, at the end of the day, I think Paramount still is the one that's going to end up owning Warner Brothers. But I don't think it's going to be in the near future. And I think it's going to be for a lot more money than what they're thinking. And I do think we're going to see other players get involved here. So I think this is all kind of fascinating.
I'm a little
at this. I really, really do.
I'm a little trepidation. I mean, I know that they're the number one suitor. Let's face it. I'm a little trepidatious because they only just acquired Paramount. And although they've announced plans, we haven't seen their great success put into action. And now they're looking to spread into yet another massive and a massively successful studio like Warner Brothers. It's one thing to pick up the scraps of what Paramount was. Not that they weren't putting out great stuff, but they weren't doing great financially. It's one thing to say we can fix this and build it up, but now they want to move so quickly into Warner Brothers. I just feel like this is very quick and it could be disastrous for both studios.
It could be. I mean, 100% it could, but I would be remiss if I didn't also point out that it has the potential, yes, to be a disaster for both studios, but it has some real potential upside too. And Paramount is a brand new company, man. This is a brand new thing. And I've been very impressed with some of the moves they've been making over there. Again, they're just moves. We're not going to see for another year and a half or 2 years what the result is going to be on screens. Right? We're still a year and a half to 2 years away from finding out what the real on-screen effect is going to be. We'll see.
Yeah.
But the potential is absolutely there. Look, they're not my first choice, Paramount. I'm just saying I think they'll be the ones that end up getting it. But it's going to be really interesting to see how that all turns out. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Paramount made an offer, but it wasn't one they couldn't refuse because Warner Brothers turned it down. Why'd they turn it down? I've offered you some options. What do you think? Do you think there's another possibility? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your Thoughts?
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.